Back when we launched the Decent Espresso machine, a lot of people were saying, what's the point of pressure profiling and who needs it? 9 bar is good enough for everyone. My reply was to ask them to taste 3 shots. Flat profile, a lever shot, and a pressure profiled shot. And that's what we're gonna do in this video. And I want you to try it as well on your machine so you can taste the effect of pressure profiling on flavor. The first shot we're gonna make is with a flat 9 bar pressure profile and some pre-infusion. This is essentially the classic Italian profile. The thing about the classic Italian espresso is that because it's doing a flat 9 bars, they tend to start slowly and then over time speed up. So you can see that here it's starting at about 1.5 mils per second and then 2 mils per second. And when I stop it at about 32 mils, it had reached a peak of about 2.2 milliliters per second. And what we're going to do is taste this. I mean, it looks great. And it's a quality espresso. But I'm going to try and get Paul's thoughts on this without influencing him too much.
Smells great. I'm loving the aroma. Oh, and it is on a little bit on the sharper side. So the acidity is there, but I quite like it. I like my shots like that. I kind of, drunk a lot of shots like this. But yeah, what it hit me originally was the aroma was fantastic. Good sharp acidity, nice smooth finish. But
what about body?
Body is a little bit on the thinner side than I would normally like, but I think it's perfectly acceptable. The aftertaste which associates with body is there. So I've got no complaints. Overall, very good shot.
Yeah, also saying this is a medium light roast by Scotty Callahan, fine print espresso, Australian national champion. Let's do a lever shot now where we go down to 0 bar, but we stop it when it actually gets the amount in cup that we want. With this style of espresso, it starts off really slow and syrupy, and we've made the grind a little bit finer because that's the style of the lever. Really thick body, really chocolatey. And you can see as the pressure is decreasing, the flow is increasing but barely. So essentially this pressure decrease is compensating for the puck degrading. And the shots are taking a long time. Okay? And you can see never is the water really becoming clear. And then there's the end of our shot. Okay, so that took quite a bit longer. That's a traditional lever shot, really letting the shot run long and really very thick. Now, from a distance, it probably looks kind of similar.
Yeah, it does look kind of similar. But yeah, I can see just by you swirling, it's definitely a lot thicker body, that's for sure. Thank you very much. So even the aroma is, just because it's got all that, a lot more fines involved just to increase the body, you can really smell that sort of earthiness coming through as well, and is much more intense in the aroma. So the acidity is quite a lot less in terms of acidity, and the overall clarity of the cup is a little bit more muddled. I suspect probably from the increased body, but all in all, it's much smoother, that's for sure. But for my taste, a little bit not as exciting as the first one, but that's just my personal taste.
Yeah, I also find this is much more just like concentrated chocolate, and it's a little bit like wine. You want some acidity to get some interest.
Yes, yes.
I also think that the slower flow meant that the aromas are much less expressed.
Yes, yeah. The aroma in the first shot was much more, I think I would use the word clarity, and this one is definitely more muddled. And yeah, the chocolatey is definitely lingering, and it's like a baker's chocolate. It's quite nice and dark, and not very sweet, but bitter cocoa with. So,
I do think this style of espresso would be really good with a little bit of cream or milk, whereas the first style with the acidity is the sort of pure espresso drinkers.
Yes, yeah.
You want that acidity if you're drinking your espresso neat. The acidity mixed in with milk not so pleasant.
No, not so much. It kind of goes against the milk a little bit.
This would be, I would say, a spouse's espresso who's maybe not that into espresso and likes the chalkiness. That would be the style I'd go for. And then finally, we're going to go between the two of them. We're going to have a 9-bar shot coming down to 6-bar. And I think flavor-wise, we might be able to achieve something in the middle. And we'll see what we like about it. And now we're going to raise the pressure to 6-bar. We've set the grind back to the original setting for the 9-bar flat espresso. And here we see the pre-infusion ending. We're at about 1.5 mils per second, 1 mil per second here. You can see the espresso is kind of slow. We've got this main extraction phase, and now the pressure is going to decrease. So what we have is slow start, coming out to about 2 mils per second, and then maintaining that flow rate. So neither declining flow rate nor increasing, and stopping it now. The time is just a few seconds longer than a classic 9-bar shot. It's a few seconds longer because we did have that pressure decline, so it didn't extract as quickly, but by and large, it looks very similar. So 29 seconds being a classic 9-bar shot, 33 seconds being a classic pressure profile, and something around 40 to 45 seconds being a lever shot. We're getting a lot of crema, a lot of tiger striping. You know, I think we're gonna get some body on this. What I really want to see is what happened to our aroma.
Thank you. So it's much more fresher than the last shot. I'm getting the nuttiness like I did from the default shot as well. And overall, I think it's much more interesting aroma. I'm feeling compelled to keep smelling it, so that's a good thing. The more I want to smell it, generally tells me there's more things in there that I haven't discovered. So that's very pleasant. So this is super balanced. I would say the acidity is keeping it interesting, but taming the richness of the coffee. And the aftertaste is very smooth. In fact, super smooth. Not really getting much earthiness, so it is actually really clean. Yeah, really pleasant shot. And I'm actually quite surprised how different it was from the lever shot. Simply because, you know, the flow rate at the start were similar in slow, but with this type of shot, it really increased and is pulling obviously cleaner flavors in a relatively shorter amount of time. So yeah, it's a really enjoyable shot.
I think midway in the body.
Yeah,
too.
Midway of the body, yeah, that's for sure. So the body is in the middle, and it's creating a lingering aftertaste, which I would expect. Yes, it's overall very, very good. I would say probably my favorite from the last three.
I didn't get nuttiness until now.
Okay.
And I think the first one, the stronger acidity was giving me more fruitiness, more perfume. And then the next one was just giving me kind of chocolate and earthy. And this one's still interesting. And I could make this either way. I could milk this or drink it neat. The concentration is giving me that kind of hit.
Yes.
That I like. This is not a difficult espresso. Like a lot of espressos, you got whoop, down it goes because it's a bit tough. I'm not getting any of that bite.
No, yeah.
And so for me, this is kind of the best overall recipe. Now, there's a reason this is here, is because it actually is called the best overall pressure profile in the appendix to Scott Rayo's book. And that is the reason this is the default recipe for the Decent Espresso machine, because it is the best overall. It makes a shot that you can drink neat or milk it, gives you the perfume, pleasing acidity. I think this is the reason that we've got pressure profiling, is we don't want the extremes of the high acidity,
yes,
or the kind of earthy chocolate thick.
Yeah.
You want something in the middle, but you can dial in whichever you want. Thanks, Paul, for your tasting notes.
Thank you very much for making me espresso.
And try this at home. All you're doing is changing that last lever and exploring the magic of pressure profiling.